Hi guys, welcome back to Melly Diary. It's your girl Mel. So today I want to talk to you guys about parole in place. Basically, that is something that the government came up with in regards to soldiers who may have family members that broke some immigration laws and possibly need to go home to parole in order to try to come back into the US. Being a soldier kind of helps the family members get certain allowances, which parole in place is an allowance, right? So as the name suggests, it just means to parole in America other than anywhere else. Today I'm going to take the time out to explain the parole in place for you guys, and so everybody is tracking like what their left and right limits are in regards to this immigration parole in place law per se, right? So before that, pause what you're doing, guys, and go and subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and also like and share this video to your family members that may want to know about military stuff. I have a military video telling you guys how the process is to join, what to expect, all of that. This video will be about parole in place, so you guys can share this with your family member. So in case they're like, oh, I heard that I could marry a soldier and this is gonna happen if I do, they can have the real facts of what that means to marry a soldier, or to be a child, to be a parent of a soldier, or a child of a soldier, who knows. I'm gonna get into it. So I'm gonna be looking on a presentation that is on my computer, a parole in place presentation that I learned at my conference. I decided I wanted to share it with you guys. Move on now to parole in place, also known as PIP, parole in place. Let's get it. So what is parole in place? Parole in place allows a foreign national who entered the United States without authorization by an immigration officer to stay in the United States on a yearly renewal basis. You guys heard that. You heard what that is. So as I said before, that's literally what parole in place is. So parole in place allows somebody who does not necessarily belong to the United States. It allows people who are foreign nationals, so that means that you're not American, you have no affiliation to America, but you've entered from a foreign country without authorization by an immigration officer. So in layman terms nowadays, there's people who are like coming across our border, jumping the border. Those people are people who I'm discussing, or other people. Sometimes some people come in here in different names and stuff like that, not their names, so there's no proof that you've entered America through an immigration officer, like you were not checked at our port to enter our country legally. This is what that is for, those people, right? So the important thing is, number one, it is on a case-by-case basis that you will be allowed to utilize parole in place, right? Parole also equals lawful immigration status. So when you're placed in this parole in place status, you're actually legal to be in the US. So that kind of takes you out of that illegal box and puts you in the legal box while you're in parole, right? Also, the big thing, the person that's sponsoring you in parole in place, the military service member, has to be 21 years or older, right? Unless they're using somebody else to do the sponsor, and that sponsor has to be 21 years or older. I'll get into that later. Why would somebody need parole in place, you may ask? Number one, parole halts accrual of unlawful presence. So you know, like when you go there, like, how long have you been here? And some people have been here for 100 years, right? I know, exaggeration. Say you've been here for 2 years. The minute you go into parole status, it stopped accounting as illegal time, like time where you have no, like you have no legal status in the country, right? Also, in parole in place, you can apply for a work permit and work legally. Big one. The next amazing thing is you can also apply for a green card while you're in parole in place status. Isn't that magnificent? So yes, that's the reason why you would want be in parole in place. Now let's get to who is eligible to parole in place, right? So the eligible people are spouse, parents, right? Minors, very important, unmarried or children of marriage. So unmarried children, meaning your kids the children themselves are not married, right? So, and they have to be minor unmarried kids, right? So let's repeat: spouse, parents, unmarried children off, and it says minor. So it has to be a minor, and they can't be married. Don't be worried out. Some countries allow people to marry before they become 21 years old or even 18 years old. You may not know, so don't judge. Just know the rule is they have to be unmarried kids and also minors. So the person that is applying for the parole in place for the family member has to be clearly an active duty member of the U.S. Armed Forces, right? First thing. Second, an individual in the reserve, the selected reserve. So I'm in the New York Army National Guard. That is traditionally a reserve component. So anybody in active duty or reserve components can apply for this for their family member. Also, a military veteran. So living or deceased as long as they were not discharged dishonorable. So say your dad passed away as an honorable veteran, you may apply for it on behalf of your deceased parent. Cool shit, right? Cool stuff. What does the soldier need to do? So if you guys are accustomed to immigration, when you're filing for a petition of a family member, you do a form I-130. This specific form is called the I-131. It is a parole in place form, right? So they have to fill a form I-31 out, and then they have to prove evidence of citizenship or lawful permanent residence. So the soldier have to either provide their green card or their naturalization document, right? Also, they need to give their birth certificate, and it needs to be in English. English, right? Because that's the instructional language of America. Then they have to provide marriage certificate. If it's a spouse, you have to provide marriage certificate. Only makes sense. The next thing that they have to provide is their military ID, because that is the ultimate proof of military service. Great. Next thing, the big thing, there is a free consultation by so much lawyers and attorney when it comes to this. So I'm gonna write some on the screen or show it on a piece of paper, whatever, of the ones that come to mind when I think about attorneys that will give you free consultation and how you can go about doing this, right? I'm gonna provide that for you guys here, so you don't have to research it. It is gonna be in this video. Look below for the law firms that you could reach out to speak about parole in place and get free consultation, right? Make a comparison list, who is cheaper, who is giving me more things for free, or whatever. Like, come up with the cost that each person is charging or what it entails, and see what works best for you. As I said, it's below here. These are people who give free consultation to use such benefit, right? The next thing we're gonna move on to is the parole in place process. So guys, the first step is step 1, parole. So here we are, the soldier enlists. If the soldier is not naturalized, we're gonna do a 426, as I mentioned, as a soldier to apply for citizenship, right? So step 1, parole. The soldier enlists, right? Family needs green cards or naturalization. So the first thing that we would do is to do a I-131, which is the parole in place application for the family member, because now I'm a soldier, so I could do that for my parents, my spouse, or my unmarried children. Also, I believe that step kids are a part of that too. Don't quote me on it, research, but any unmarried children that's a minor is good to go for that. Your parents, your mother and father, you're probably gonna have to prove that they're your parents. Birth certificate could be used, and also I guess paternity documents and stuff could be used to prove that you belong to this mother and father that you said you belong to. Also, legal guardian. So if you were legally adopted in your country, you could also support I-31, get a I-131 for your legal guardian that's not your biological parents. That they fall under it as well, once it's a legal guardian, right? So the step 1 is just to do the I-31. After that, the next step is to adjust. You'll do an adjustment of status, right? To do that, the soldier has to be 21 years old or older, and they have to be an American citizen. So if the soldier that joined is a green card holder, the soldier must first do the I-426 and go be an American citizen in order to petition for a parole in place for their parent or change of status, right? So you would do an I-30 for this alien relative. That is 535. Remember, the parole in place at this point is already granted. So we are at step 2 now when you've already done an I-31. So step 2 is where we're gonna adjust status. So you're gonna file an I-30, which is a petition for a relative that is currently 535 for the USCIS. The next thing you're gonna do is the I-485. It is an adjustment of status form. It costs $1,225. So you will fill that out as well, right? The next thing is the I-864. That is an affidavit of support. So basically you have to prove that you could support this family member whilst you're trying to make them legal here. It's some documents that you fill out with all of your tax information and stuff, your household information, just to see what you can or cannot afford. The amazing thing about this is that you can have more than one affidavit of support. So any family member or friend could be a supplemental affidavit of support, like second, third. I think there's a number, a max number, but it's definitely more than one that you are allowed to use. So this is very good news, right? So affidavit of support, then you need to have medical forms done, the I-693. I-693 needs to be filled out. An amazing thing I just learned online, we no longer need the COVID vaccine to qualify for doing USCIS process, immigration process. It's no longer a necessity. So if you're not vaccinated, rest assured you don't have to get vaccinated with the COVID vaccine. So after you do the medical exam, right, you will file for an I-765, which is an authorization for employment. So that will give your family member a chance to work while immigration works out all the documents that you've now sent in for them, right? As I said, those are the step 2. So you're filing for adjustment of status. So you're going to do all these forms that are on the screen and then submit them. A good gem. Submit all forms online. Do not submit any form in paper format. It's allowed, yes. But why would you? Because when there's an error, they have to mail you out the error for you to fix. Where if you do it online, an email just comes and say, hey, there's been a change to your case. You go and it will, the immigration officer that is working your case will say, hey, on the I-30, on block whatever, you didn't do this, you didn't do that, you need to provide more proof, you need to do this. It's like electronic, so it's immediate and it's easy to fix rather than paper format when you have to use the mail system to be mailing, waiting for receipt of mail to come back, and a bunch of stuff. It's too much work. Just create a USCIS online account. I will link every form I speak about under this video, so you could just click it and it brings you to the form. As I said, make a USCIS account. These forms are there, open on the website, ready to be pre-filled and locked in on your profile. So it's easy peasy, beautiful, right? So we just finished with step 2. Now let's discuss the fees. USCIS fees can amount to at least $1,760 based off all the things I told you that you need to do in step 2. The fees will be $1,760 plus attorney fees. So it depends on what your attorney is charging you. As I mentioned, go use these attorneys. I don't know any of them people. These attorneys are just people who have done it for soldiers in the past, and we've kept an account of it so we can give it to our future soldiers to assist them with getting citizenship for their parents. So don't quote me on any of it. I don't know. I'm just telling you what has worked in the past for other people. I do not know these lawyers. I don't know nothing about their law firms. They just are military friendly and they understand parole in place. So I'm gonna link them in the video, right? The timeline. For the timeline, right? For the timeline, we have to look at, remember, everything you send to USCIS is case-by-case basis. It may be 1 year for me and 6 months for you and 2 years for somebody else. It depends on the case-by-case basis. Also remember that they're just now getting back to normal after the COVID factor. COVID happened A bunch of things wasn't being processed because nobody was going into physical work, mails were lost, etc. So the USCIS is catching up, so we have to give them some grace while they do that, right? So just remember that. The next thing, the I-31, the parole in place form, it takes 4 to 19 months. So the processing time is 4 months to as long as 19 months. So as you could see, guys, it could take almost 2 years for the processing of the parole in place. So as little as 4 months and as far as 19 months. So be patient with this process. The next thing, the I-485, that can take 19 months to 24 months. Again, 2 years. The adjustment of status, the maximum time for processing is 2 years. Don't get crazy when you apply and you have to wait. As I said, it takes 2 years for the process to take place. So I'm going to drop another link here. It is called Immigration Direct. This is a software that when you click on is the prices on this website. So if you go on this website and you type up whatever, it will give you an amount of law firms and give you their prices for each service and stuff. So you could use this tool, this software tool, to see which company you could use and what is too expensive, and just have a ballpark of who you need to use or who you could try to research some more into, right? So that is another link. It's called the Immigration Direct, a leading immigration software company. I will link it below. Again, not my family member. I do not know these people. I will link these things on there for you guys. I hope this was very good. I hope it answers everybody's question. So again, not to say just go run and marry a soldier, because your situation may vary. It's a case-by-case basis. If you're already married to a soldier, or your child is a military service member, they're a soldier, an airman, a marine, what is the other one? A coast guard, I'm missing a branch, Navy. They're part of the Navy, a sailor. You may qualify for this parole in place. Case-by-case basis. Don't go say Sergeant McCrae said. It's a case-by-case basis, but it may work for you if you're a parent, or if you have your children that's staying here and they don't have any status. It may work for them. So as I said, rest assured, hope this is reasons for people to want to join, because you know your girl is a recruiter. I'm always down to recruit some people, but I wanted to give you guys this knowledge just so you guys can utilize it to benefit you, and to right now in the tension of the immigration tension with the new legislation, the new president, I know people are on their seat, the edge of their seat, worried about what their future will look like. So I wanted to bring this to the forefront so you guys understand how soldiers, the allowance that soldiers have when it comes to the immigration stuff, and what it kind of seeps into what their family member can get, being that they have a family member that is a soldier. I hope this answered a lot of questions, especially for the people who asked me, people who have came across our border in this recent 1 year, what can they do, and can they marry a soldier, and what does it mean? People are telling you to marry a soldier because of parole in place. As I said, don't just jump into it and marry a soldier just because you want to research. I hope this video gives you a wealth of information and leads you to click these links and get more info onto how it works before you jump the gun and marry a soldier. Or if you already have a soldier that you're married to, look into parole in place. You could have that soldier tap into their family readiness people who will assist them as well on their bases, or in their units. I hope you guys really enjoy this content. Any question you have, if it's too private and you don't want to put it under this video, still comment under my video. I have questions, I will inbox you, and I will go ahead and look forward to your inbox on Instagram. I'm going to tag my angle. Probably it's going to be running across the screen the entire time, who knows. Hit me up on Instagram. If you know me personally, write me on WhatsApp. Oh, an amazing thing, if you guys don't know, I have a work phone. So if you want anything to do with any recruiting, military questions, and you want to speak to Sergeant First Class McCrae Jackson, my phone number, I will tag my phone number here. It is my government phone. Do not send anything crazy to the people's government phone. It is a phone that is controlled and monitored by the Department of Defense. Please don't get stupid. However, it's an iPhone, so you could text me questions, you could call me and stuff in regards to recruiting questions, or if you have questions further in the parole in place, my phone number is 917-208-4452. I'll put it on the screen, probably write it in the description as well. You guys can hit me up for more questions and I will answer whatever I can. I hope you guys enjoyed the military content because you guys really ate the last one up. So I know you guys love to hear about the military, but I hope this answers any questions, all the rumors that were running around as to why a soldier can help you to stay in America even if you breach our borders. This is what they're referring to, parole in place, PIP. Thank you guys for watching thus far. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. It's your girl Mel, and you're on Melly Diary. Have a good day, guys. Bye.